and welcome to the 591st regular meeting of the City of Laurel Planning Commission. This meeting is being held virtually via Zoom. The information has been published on the city website, and the information for tonight's meeting has all been included on the website. I do have a sign-up sheet. I ask anyone wishing to speak. I will call on people during the public hearing to see if anyone else would like to speak. Ms. Quillen, if you would please call the roll.
Councilmember Sidnor.
Present. Present.
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mr. Kish.
Here.
Mr. Welford. Ms. Bonner.
Here.
Chairwoman Bettman.
Here.
Mr. Grant. You have a quorum, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 2, approval of the minutes from the April 12th, 2022 meeting. We have all received these electronically. Are there any questions for staff? If there are none, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the meeting minutes from April the 12th, 2022.
Thank you, Ms. Bonner.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Ms. Quillen, if you would please call the roll.
Ms. Bonner.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Mr. Kish.
I abstain. I was not at the meeting.
Chairwoman Bettman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 3 and agenda item 4. I'm going to read both of these and ask for the staff report. However, they will be a public hearing separate on each item and motion to for action. Agenda item 3, Forest Conservation and Resolution number 22-06-PC 7222 and 7302 Contee Road, filed by Ribera Development LLC. This agenda item includes a public hearing on application and final action by the Planning Commission. Agenda item 4, Plat of Consolidation and Resolution number 22-07-PC 7222 and 7302 Contee Road, filed by Ribera Development LLC. Public hearing on the application and final action by the Planning Commission are also included. Mr. Love.
Thank you, and good evening, Madam Chair and Commission members. The applicant is seeking a forest conservation plan approval with waiver associated with the proposed 63-unit development of a townhouse community on the properties known as 7222 and 7302 Contee Road. The applicant is required to provide 3.33 acres of plantings, which they will be meeting with the 3.42 acres of plantings. The applicant is proposing to remove trees having a diameter measured at 4.5 feet above the ground of 30 inches or more. Section 20-41.16A2 of the ULDC allows for a waiver of the provisions of Section 20-41.7B5A upon demonstration that enforcement would result in unwarranted hardships. Staff recommends that the City of Laurel Planning Commission approve the Forest Conservation Plan along with the waiver for 7222 and 7302 Contee Road. Next, as stated, the applicant is seeking a plat of consolidation approval to consolidate the lots located at 7222 Contee Road and 7302 Contee Road. The applicant is seeking to consolidate in order to develop a 63-unit townhouse community. The consolidation will include parcels 17 and 19 with a total amount of land to be consolidated at approximately 7.6882 acres. Staff recommends that the City of Laurel Planning Commission approve the plat consolidation for 7222 and 7302 Contee Road with the following conditions. 1, the approved plat shall be recorded with Prince George's County land records. 2, the applicant shall demolish the single-family detached homes currently located on 7222 and 7302 Contee Road prior to the issuance of the first building permit for the proposed development. And 3, the applicant shall obtain all required permits from the Department of the Fire Marshal and Permit Services. Thank you, Madam Chair and Commission, and the applicant is available for questions, and I believe Mr. Samato has a few things to say, or Mr. DeVito, excuse me.
Thank you. First, I'd like to ask any commissioners or council member Sidnor, any questions for staff? Ms. Bonner?
No.
Mr. Wilson?
Thank you.
Mr. Kish?
I have none, thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Sidnor?
No questions for staff, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Mr. DeVito, if you would please state your name and address for the record, and welcome.
Thank you very much. My name is Eric DeVito. I am counsel for the developer applicant Ribera Development. My address is 2077 Somerville Road, Suite 310, Annapolis, Maryland. Thank you again, Madam Chair and Planning Commission members, for hearing us this evening. We really don't have any presentation or don't want to take up any more of your time. Mr. Love did an excellent presentation and we agree with his findings and everything that he presented. I just wanted to make a quick comment that myself, our engineering firm, GLW, Tim Longfellow and Tom Zyla are on this Zoom and available for any technical questions you might have. And the only thing I'd like to just point out is we were before you not too long ago for the neo-traditional overlay approval, which Planning Commission approved and then the City Council later approved. This layout and concept plan has not changed since that last time that you saw it. It's the same concept, same proposed number of units, same layout. And this is just another step in the process toward approval of those plans. And as we continue to move on and get the requisite approvals, I just wanted to make you aware that nothing has changed since the last time you saw it. And with that, I'll go ahead and turn it back over to you. And again, our engineering firm is here for questions. And if any comments come out of the public where you'd like to ask any questions, we are still here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant before I open the public hearing? Hearing none, I will open the public hearing at 6. Oh, I'm sorry.
Now, I was trying to come off mute, Madam Chair. I have one question for Mr. DeVito.
Please, Councilman Sidnor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. DeVito, just projection, right? If everything, all the permits get approved, what's your estimated start date and your estimation completion date if all permits are approved?
I guess from an estimated start date, it might be better to ask GLW who's on the call because they're the ones who have to prepare all these plans and get through from the permits and approval process. So I don't know, GLW, if you're on and can address that question about how long. I guess what I'll say is once we get approvals, obviously there's a ramp up time to get bonding and everything will be a couple more months added on to the back end of where we think we can get through the approvals process. But I'll defer to GLW on how much longer they think it'll take to get the full approvals.
Thank you. Tom or Tim, if you would state your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Chair. Tim Longfellow, GLW, 3909 National Drive, Suite 250, Burtonsville, Maryland, 20866. Thank you, Eric and Councilman Sidnor. If everything continues to move forward and we receive our next round of approvals in June, it's estimated that we'd have our engineering approval starting to be complete in the December, January range. We do have a couple of more things that we've got to take care of along the way with the preliminary plan and site plan and then the engineering doc. So that's what we're anticipating.
One more question. I got the start date. How many years do you think it would complete this project? 2 to 3 years?
In terms of developing and building, I guess is what your question is, once we have those approvals, is that your question, Councilman?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for clarifying it. Yes, sir.
Again, a lot of that depends on the pace of the home sales and building, but I don't know, Tim, in terms of the site work that's required here, building the roads and all that, do you have an estimate on how long it would take to at least get all that infrastructure in the ground before you can even sell the first house?
So I think it would take, a couple of 2-3 months to get the infrastructure in, and then, like you said, Eric, it's going to be a matter of the pace of sales at that point. But, my guess would be 1 to 2 years, and the project would probably be fully built out, with the market given the way it is. Again, a little bit of,
I'd say, that's probably a best case. I'd say, maybe even budget, worst case, maybe 3 to 4 years, best case, 1 to 2 years. Again, it just depends on how the pace of things.
I just want to estimate time. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Any other questions? So I would like to open the public hearing at 6:11 on the Forest Conservation and Resolution number 22-06-PC. I do not have anyone else currently signed up in advance. Is there anyone on this call from the public wishing to ask any questions? Hearing no one, I will close the public hearing at 6:12 p.m. And if there are no further questions, I will entertain a motion for agenda item 3 regarding the forest conservation and the resolution for that one.
Madam Chair, this is Rick. I will move to approve the forest conservation and resolution number 2206-BC for 7222 and 7302 Contee Road, filed by the applicant, including the staff report.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second that, Madam Chairman. John Kish.
Thank you, Mr. Kish. Ms. Quillen, if you would please call the roll.
Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Mr. Kish,
Yes.
Ms. Bonner,
Yes.
Chairwoman Bettman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. At this time, we will move to the plat of consolidation and resolution number 22-07. I will open the public hearing at 6:12. I do not have anyone currently signed up. Is there anyone wishing to speak on this agenda item? Hearing no one, I will close it at 6:13 p.m. and I will entertain a motion.
Wait. Okay, I'll go ahead and move to approve plat of consolidation and resolution number 2207-BC for 7222 and 7302 Contee Road, filed by the applicant and including the technical staff report.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll go ahead and second.
Thank you, Ms. Bonner. Ms. Quillen, if you would please call the roll.
Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Ms. Bonner,
Yes.
Mr. Kish,
Yes.
Chairwoman Bettman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And thank you and good luck as you continue to move forward with this. We'll see you next month, I believe.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Great evening.
Thank you, you too. Moving on to agenda item number 5, special exception application number 926, which is 1025 Washington Boulevard, filed by Next Line Permits for Capital One Bank for recommendation to the Board of Appeals. Mr. Love, I believe.
So Mr. Mitchum on this one.
Oh, I'm sorry, who's that? Oh,
Yeah, this is Joshua Mitchum, ECD staff. I'll be giving the staff report for this
welcome.
application. Yes, so again, good evening, Madam Chair and fellow commission members. Again, my name is Joshua Mitchum with ECD staff. And the applicant is seeking special exception approval to construct an exterior automated teller machine. The ATM will be located at the existing Capital One Bank, located at 1025 Washington Boulevard. The property is zoned C-CH, C-SH, and is part of the Laurel Shopping Center. The window that will be replaced is in the rear of the property, and the project consists of renovating an existing office space within the bank and converting it into an ATM room, which will house the ATM unit, which customers will then walk up to and then access from the outside. Furthermore, the applicant is proposing to alter the existing sidewalk to allow for proper access to the proposed exterior ATM. And an ADA accessible concrete will be used in replacement of the existing asphalt between the existing handicap parking spaces. The applicant is not proposing to remove any existing parking spaces for the installation of the external ATM. And according to ULDC, section 20-16.5, which houses the schedule of parking requirements, the applicant is required to have one parking space for an automatic teller machine only use. The existing Capital One Bank will have more than enough parking to account for this addition. It is recommended that the Planning Commission recommend approval of special exception application number 926 to the City of Laurel Board of Appeals with the following conditions. The applicant shall obtain all required City of Laurel building and sign permits, and the applicant shall comply with all federal, state, and local laws and regulations for the protection and use of the property. That concludes the reading of my report, and the applicant, Chris Wing, and the architect, Andrew Rashid, are available for any questions if necessary. Thank you.
Thank you. I do have one question. Josh, I'm not sure it's for you or for the applicant. The term at the rear of the building threw me, but because I'm very familiar with the bank, and it's, I'm not quite sure how we're calling that the rear. Maybe the applicant is the back of the building that is on Route 1, is that considered the front? Because this to me is, and the reason it raised something to me is I thought, why in the world would we want something between Route 1 and the back? But this is up at the front. I have no issues with where it is on the plat. I'm just saying, should we clarify, clean up the language on the technical staff report?
Sure. I mean, I can also hand it over to the applicant as well. But my thought process when looking at this application was the front of the building would be the facade that faces Washington Boulevard, and what I would consider on the site plan to be the main vestibule in which you enter. There is another entrance on the site plan that indicates where the ATM room will be located in the existing office space that they're going to renovate.
Okay, because so I guess I would ask that somehow we change the language, because you can only enter the building, the public can enter the building, you know, from the, I guess, the west side of the building. And I don't want people thinking that it's going to be, you know, like on the opposite side of where the current ones are. It's just to the side of the building. Mr. Wing, does that make sense to you? Or am I just complicating things?
This is Andrew Rashid of Rashid Architects.
Oh, hi, thank you.
Hi, how are you? We were viewing the front as the facing of Washington Boulevard because that's the address of the building.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I believe you can gain access to the building from that side.
Okay. I don't think the public can.
I don't think most people use that entrance, but there is an access to the building from that side.
Okay. All right, but it's not at, so you're saying the rear of the building is that's closest to there. Okay. Thank you. That was my only question. Commissioners, are there any questions for staff or the applicant? Mr. Kish.
I have none, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. Ms. Bonner.
No, I don't have any. Thank you.
Mr. Wilson?
Yeah, the only thing that I would say is, and I think we have this all throughout the city, that, and it's probably in the banking rules, about making sure it's adequately lit and all that, because it's obviously a 24-hour facility. So I don't have any other issues other than that. I'm just making an assumption that all those safety and security rules are going to be followed. That's
Thank
it.
you.
Yes, this is Andrew Rashid again from Rashid Architects. We are providing lighting above the ATM.
Thank you. Councilman Sidnor.
No questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you. This agenda item does not require a public hearing. I do not have anyone else signed up to speak on this, but will take just a second, couple seconds to pause. Is there anyone else with any questions or wishing to speak on this agenda item? Hearing no one, I will entertain a motion.
Go for it.
Motion to approve special exception application number 926-1025 Washington Boulevard, filed by Next Line Permits for Capital One Bank for recommendation to the Board of Appeals.
Thank you, Ms. Bonner. Do I have a second?
Second that, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Kish. Ms. Quillen, if you would please call the roll.
Ms. Bonner,
Yes.
Mr. Kish,
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Chairwoman Bettman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And thank you all. No further agenda items. This meeting is adjourned.
Good night.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone. Thank
Good night,
you.
everybody. Take care.
Thanks, Laurel.
Take care, everybody. See you, Keith. Take care.